When they move on quickly. This is a teaching on grief, the difference between attachment and love. Now, I have a shirt on today. It's called The Hope Dealer. The windowsill actually represents teaching, helps you to become aware, helps you to understand. I've studied in great depth to deliver these messages, as well as some lived experiences with not only myself, but the clients in which I work with, and also the women that I walk alongside. So not everything that I share has happened to me so much, but has happened, and I have been faced with and dealt with, and so I just wanted to make that clear. For those of you who watch, I hope that this channel brings you clarity, brings you awareness, and brings you truth, because the truth does set us free when we listen and when we get with the Father to discern what is our truth and where He's leading us to go and be. And so this is on about replacement, when someone moves on and you're left to deal with the feelings that come from that. And so here goes. Naming the confusion. One of the most disorienting experiences after a relationship ends is this: you are still grieving and they are already with someone new. The pain is not just the loss itself, it is the speed. It raises quiet, destabilizing questions. Did what we share mean anything? Was it ever really real? How could they move on so quickly? And if they're happy now, what does that say about me? At the windowsill, God does not answer these questions with dismissal or sentiment. He answers them with truth. Because misunderstanding keeps the heart bound, this teaching is written for anyone who has been touched by this pattern, the one left behind, trying to understand, the one who moved on quickly, and also the one who entered into the new relationship. Healing requires that all three hear the truth clearly. What moving on quickly is and is not. Moving on quickly is not proof of emotional health. It is not proof of maturity. It is not proof that the previous relationship meant nothing. And it is not proof that healing has occurred. In many cases, moving on quickly is a form of emotional displacement. Instead of processing loss, the person transfers attachment. Instead of grieving, they replace. Instead of sitting with pain, they seek regulation through connection. What appears as confidence on the outside is often avoidance on the inside. Why some people cannot stay with loss. Some people do not leave because they stop caring. They leave because they cannot tolerate what relationships require: depth, reflection, accountability, repair, waiting, and stillness. Loss forces a person inward. For someone who has never learned to sit with themselves, who has never learned to self-regulate, who has never learned to self-soothe, who has never learned to process shame, grief, or regret, stillness feels very unsafe. So they move, and they move quickly. The core driver, avoidance of the inner world. People who move quickly from partner to partner are often not chasing love. They are fleeing their inner world. Being alone confronts them with unresolved wounds, unprocessed grief, identity confusion, emotional emptiness, and feelings they do not know how to regulate. A new relationship provides temporary stabilization. The nervous system settles, loneliness numbs, the mirror is avoided, but nothing is healed. It is only postponed. Replacement is not the same as recovery. Recovery requires reflection, mourning, accountability, insight, and internal reorganization. Replacement says, I don't have to feel this if I feel something else instead. So the cycle repeats: connection, intensity, withdrawal, replacement. Not because the person is heartless, but because they are unhealed and they're seeking to fill a void that they can't feel. To the one left behind, their speed is not a measure of your value. It is a measure of their capacity to sit with loss. You were not replaced because you were lacking. You were not forgotten because you were insignificant. You were simply more present than they could remain. What was replaced was not you. It was grief, accountability, self-reflection, discomfort, and truth. Depth exposes what avoidance cannot tolerate. To the one who moved on quickly, this truth is not meant to shame you, but to interrupt the story that keeps you from healing. Moving on quickly does not mean you loved well. It means you did not stay long enough to grieve. Attachment without reflection feels like relief, but relief is not restoration. Love does not bypass conscience. Love does not erase the past without reckoning. Healing begins when this stops. To the one who entered into the new relationship, you did not enter a healed space. You entered an unfinished one. If accountability, grief, and honesty were skipped, the connection you are standing in was built on avoidance, not clarity. This does not mean you are unworthy of love. It means truth has not yet been allowed to lead. What is unresolved will surface, not to punish, but to heal. Why the story often gets rewritten. To move on quickly, the past must be minimized because grief requires honesty. So the story shifts. It wasn't that serious. We were already disconnected. She didn't love me. We were going to get a divorce anyway. Our marriage was just broken, and it had been for years. So this is who I was meant to be with. I followed my heart. I love you. This is not clarity. It is protection. Truth slows us down. Avoidance speeds us up. What healing actually requires? Healing requires the same thing for everyone involved. A pause for explanation, a pause from replacement, a pause from justification, a pause from comparison. Only then can grief speak. Only then can truth settle. Only then can love be named honestly. Father speaks, my children, I do not confuse movement with growth. I do not confuse attachment with love. I do not confuse intensity with devotion. To the one who grieves, you are not weak for feeling. You are not foolish for loving. To the one who fled, stopping is not failure. It is courage. Courage to deal with your pain once and for all so that you can heal and so that you can quit hurting other people too. To the one who entered, do not build your future on unfinished truth. This was not love. This was attachment. And I'm sorry to share that with you. But one cannot move from person to person without dealing with the destruction and pain that was caused. I stay where truth is welcomed. I heal where honesty is allowed. Your Father. The Windowsill truth. When someone moves on quickly, it does not mean the past was meaningless. It means grief was avoided. And healing begins for everyone involved when the running stops, when you face the music, when you do your healing so that you can move forward in a healthy relationship. Jumping from partner to partner without experiencing any healing just means you're repeating patterns and cycles. We didn't find our fairy tale romance in an unhealed person. What we thought maybe isn't. Attachment feels very invigorating, and love is not like that. So I'm praying for all those affected by this triangulation, by the repercussions of like brokenness, and I encourage you to grow your relationship with the Father and concentrate not on the pain that was caused to you, but to concentrate on your healing. Like, how did you get involved? How are you dealing with this aftermath? Don't focus on the hurt. Don't focus on revenge or bitterness or anger or any of that. Do process those emotions. You need to process those emotions. But your number one thing is healing. Healing so that you can become healthy. That if you choose one day to walk in another relationship, you won't be repeating patterns. You won't be picking up those unhealed people that was never meant to be part of your reality. So I encourage you to heal, to move on, to take the time to grieve, to feel, no matter how long that takes, and to get alongside a great therapist, because what happened hurt, and you can't ignore that. You can't, you have to process it. And maybe in the beginning, you were frozen. You were, there's lots of trauma responses: freeze, flight, and then there's fight. The freeze and the flight were probably where you were. But as you get grounded and as you grow, you'll step into fight. That is recognizing truth, what happened to you, and how it was just injustice, and how you want to protect others who are walking in that path, and that if your story or the stories of others serve purpose in helping someone else, spare them the pain, then it was all worthy of it. And so please do heal. Take care of you. Don't worry about them. You take care of you. You have a calling, and you have a ministry, and you have family and friends that are counting on you. Your circle makes a difference, and your healing does too. So I'm praying for you.